Well, the people say, is radio still important? I'm obviously very biased because I've worked for radio for years and years and years, but to me, I've seen it with my own eyes, the importance of radio play. I mean, it's easy to get your music out there through various digital channels and stuff like that, whether it's zines or other online sort of publications. But radio has like a stamp of credibility and a stamp of approval that I think other platforms perhaps don't have. And not only that, but obviously there's a repetition as well on radio. If you get on an A list or a B list, whatever station that's on, your music's going to get played a lot, and lots of different people are going to hear it. So on my show, my show is once a week, and it's a specialist show. It's all about new bands. But the greatest feeling for me is when a band that I've been playing for ages on that show builds a fan base, and then we push them out onto the other parts of the station, and that's when they really start to get traction, because everybody starts hearing them, not just the people that enjoy my show, but people that listen to the station generally. For me, press releases are quite difficult to get right, actually, because it's very easy to fall into the same traps that a lot of people make, which is like how many plays they've had, how many YouTube views they've got, how many followers they've got. I mean, all that stuff is important, but I think actually that stuff's more important from a sales point of view, from a business point of view, if you're like a record label or whatever, because you're proving that you've got a fan base. From a press point of view, as to whether or not you want to cover this artist, it's more about what makes them interesting, what makes them stand out, because there's a lot of bands that are the same as a lot of other bands, good songs, but ultimately the same, whatever genre that is. And similar with singer-songwriters or just singers, there has to be something that's more interesting and has kind of a talking point, basically. So from a press point of view, whether that's writing for magazines or talking for radio, broadcasting for radio or for TV or whatever it is, that's the kind of thing you're looking for. You're looking for those USPs, basically, unique selling points that kind of make that person stand out. Yeah, I absolutely love judging it. I love judging it every year because the talent's always great, especially at this stage when it's a grand final. Everyone's really, really good, so it's quite interesting because you kind of know they're going to be able to play their instruments. If they're playing instruments, you know they're going to be able to sing, so you kind of get to that exciting stage where you're looking for someone that's actually a star. For me, it's all about that unquantifiable thing that people in the industry know as the X Factor. The X Factor, as it stands, isn't necessarily always looking for someone that has the X Factor, but in my personal opinion. However, for me, it's that thing that makes you think, right, that person's got it and that person hasn't. Because you can have two people that look the same, sound the same, have the same ability, but one person's got something you can't put your finger on, which is why it's called the X Factor, because nobody knows what it is, and one person hasn't. And for me, the easiest way to understand it is something that makes them interesting, something that makes you want to hang out with them afterwards, something that makes you want to ask them questions, interview them, something that makes them a star, basically. When they walk in the room, they've got a presence that other people haven't got. That's what we're looking for. For me, it's confidence. The way, the guy that won the 16 and under round today, as soon as he walked on stage, you knew he had it. He strummed his guitar, so the mic stand was there, strummed his guitar, pulled away from the mic, he had a real performance element to it. It wasn't just, I'm terrified, I'm going to sing a song. He sang his own song, he sang it well, and he performed it, and there was a confidence in it, but also that sort of star quality as well. I play stuff that I like. That's as simple as it gets, really. I say my mantra on air is if it's good, it gets on, and it's as simple as that. I take submissions from across the whole world. And I listen to everything I receive. I don't have a raft of producers doing it for me. I do it all myself, which does take absolutely ages, but that's why I enjoy it, that's why I do it. And if I like it, if it's good enough, I play it. And I'm looking for everything. I'm looking for quality of songs. I'm looking for, something different, something interesting. Again, it's important to have something interesting because there's a lot of melodic rock bands out at the moment. Being in a melodic rock band is something that's quite in vogue. So everybody's doing it, but it's actually quite difficult to be in a melodic rock band that stands out from the pack. So again, I'm looking for that kind of unquantifiable thing, really great songs and stuff that makes it stand out. I have this conversation a lot regarding about how people can get noticed, and I think often people forget that, I hate to say it, but the industry is very London-centric, and there's a lot of people that you come in contact with that they'll be like, oh, I've played 200 gigs last year. I was like, did you play any in London? They're like, no, I played in my hometown, stuff like that. And that's great, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's important to cut your teeth, build the fan base, but you can't deny that 90% of the music industry are in London. So really you have to play shows in London. That's a number one tip, and people always forget that. top tips for unsigned artists: send your music to me. That's so conceited, but I want to give you airplay, so there's a good way of doing it. Send not just to me, but the BBC introducing is brilliant. They do loads of great work, and I respect those guys massively, as does Tom Robinson at BBC Six Music, as does John Kennedy at XFM, and so many people at all the different radio stations. Also tap up all the major publications that are relevant for your type of music. That's the other thing as well people forget. There's no point like sending your music to someone that's completely irrelevant. Like my show's kind of different because although it's on Kerrang, I play like a broad range of stuff. So I play singer-songwriters, drum and bass producers, metal bands, you know, the kind of things you'd expect from Kerrang, but also like totally, I play like classical stuff sometimes as well. You know, if it's good, it gets on. That's how I roll, so to speak. But yeah, like loads of people send completely inappropriate music to people. So like, you know, there might be like a really heavy metal magazine, for example, and like rappers will send their music to them, and you're like, you're a rapper? Like, you're not an alternative crossover rapper, you're just a rapper. Are you going to get featured in this heavy metal magazine? Obviously not, so why the hell are you bothering? So that's something to bear in mind as well, for sure.
Open Mic UK. Are you ready? I guarantee you'll miss me, 'cause you changed the way you kiss me. Open Mic UK. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? This is Open Mic UK.